everybody's favorite guessing game, What's My Line? Brought to you by Remington Rand, makers of the world's #1 electric shaver, the Remington. Now, let's all play What's My Line? And now, let's meet our award-winning What's My Line panel. First, the head of Random House, well-known humorist and lecturer, Mr. Bennett, Cerf.
One of the reasons I was delighted to see that they scrambled our seating tonight was it gave me a chance to introduce the lovely young lady at my left. She's the one who told Fred Allen just before we came in tonight about what the Tower of London said to the Tower of Pisa. The Tower of London said, I have the time and you have the inclination. Miss Arlene Francis.
Yes, that's about up to standard, Bennett. Thank you very much. And at my left, a gentleman who is usually to my right, but no matter where he is, we're always delighted to have him around, Mr. Fred Allen.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I was going to repeat Bennett's joke for those who were upstairs and didn't hear it or weren't paying any attention to it, but I won't have time for that. I just have time to present to you Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
And on my left, just back from Denver, where he was doing I know not what, the gentleman who confuses but also delights us, our moderator, John Charles Daly.
Actually, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I've been out in Denver to join my colleagues in the Radio and Television News Directors Association, where we had a convention. Denver was a wonderful host city, and so was the United States Air Force, but it's now Sunday night, and it's time to play our old tricks, except that we're going to do some variations on a familiar theme. So, panel, please get your masks on, if you will. Oh, riot and rebellion is in the land. While you put the masks on, I need only tell you that we're really just doing some variations. The same old thing is going to happen. We have some interesting occupations, some very interesting people tied to those occupations, and we expect to give the panel a rough time of it. We'll have a famous guest challenger a bit later on, but I think it's about time for these experts to see what they can do with our first challenger. Everything all set, panel?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, will you come in and sign in, please? Fine, would you mind telling us where you're from?
New York.
You're from New York. Panel, as you can see, there is something either in the physical presence or in the name that would give you identification that goes beyond our norms. Therefore, we've asked you to put on the blindfolds. And you're familiar with our scoring system?
Yes, I am.
Well, good. Now we'll let the folks at home, our friends here in the theater, know exactly what your line is. To tell you is that our guest is self-employed, and we'll begin the general questioning with Dorothy Kilgallen.
Do you deal in services?
Yes.
Could I avail myself of your service?
No.
No, I don't believe so, not in the context of the services. 1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Well, am I correct in assuming that you are of the male persuasion? Are you a man?
I hope so.
What was that?
That's yes, really, Bennett.
Are you talking through a bottle or something?
Talking through a bottle. No.
Is your face such that we would recognize it because we've seen pictures of you in the newspaper?
Oh, very occasionally.
What?
I would say that's possible, Bennett. There's a likelihood that some of you or all of you might recognize our guest because certainly his picture has appeared in the papers.
Has the picture ever appeared on page 1 of the newspapers?
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Miss Francis.
Would it be more likely to appear in a television or theater section of the paper?
Yes.
Are you a performer?
Yes, in a way.
I'm beginning to worry
Did he
about
say he
our
was
guest.
a sick performer? performer?
He is a performer in a way.
In a way?
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you ever appear on television?
No.
All righty.
3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Allen.
Do you appear in the theater?
No.
4 down and 6 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Well, do you perform but not appear before audiences?
What was that again?
Well, I'm not sure myself, but if you're a performer, I could avail myself of your services by being in the audience. Now, that's not... I guess I couldn't. But I was just trying to figure out why I couldn't participate or enjoy what you do. Could Fred or Bennett enjoy what you do, or the benefits thereof?
Oh, yes.
They could.
If you had more talent, you might avail yourself of my services.
What?
It's a question of talent rather than sex.
I think this actually is an area which it would be difficult to find clear answers to. The services which our guest performs are such that I think Bennett and Fred might reasonably be more likely to get benefit or enjoyment from these services than you would, Dorothy.
All right. Do you work in a Turkish bath?
Not really.
5 down, 5 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Well, is there any athletic endeavor connected with what you do?
No.
6 down and 4 to go, Miss Francis.
Well, you said that your picture might appear in the radio, or in the theater or television section. And we have said, do you appear in television? You've said no. We said theater, and you said no. Do you have something to do with radio?
Yes.
You appear on radio.
Yes.
And only men like to listen to you?
Is that your question?
I hope not.
Well, you just said that Bennett and...
You can get lost in this one.
Yes,
Miss
I'm afraid so.
Arlene.
Well, now, are you you say you have nothing to do with sports. Are you a political newscaster?
No.
7 down and 3 to go, Mr. Allen. I'm going to give you 1 more minute.
Are you an entertainer of any sort?
Conference.
Conference is right.
He doesn't know how entertaining
Not
he
from
is.
here, I can't.
I would think this, Fred. We don't want to mislead you. We would not want to use the term entertainer specifically in this case, but in the larger sense, we would say that our guest might be considered to belong to the entertainment fraternity.
But he is in radio.
Yes, he is in radio.
And still in radio, is he? And
Not
still-
after this performance.
Yes, he's still in radio.
Do you work from New York City?
Yes.
Do you work alone?
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Oh.
8 down and 2 to go. I'm afraid our time is up because actually I want the pleasure of introducing Miss Kilgallen to her husband, Dick Kollmar.
Why wouldn't you use his services?
I'm sorry, Dorothy. We moved
Listen,
it
I want to say that I really did think at one point that was who it was, except that why wouldn't Dorothy use his services? It seems like she'd be more likely than the rest of us.
There's the point.
It is a point, isn't it?
No, because actually in the context of what Dorothy does, what Dick does with her on radio, they are together a working team, but they don't use each other's services in the terms of receiving them as the public does.
What were you talking through, Dick?
His nose. Just my crazy throat.
All of it?
Bennett.
Yes, I was.
That's it, you see, just to prove
I thought he was
not telling a
Boston
lie.
Blackie. I didn't...
Well, in some cities I am. Friend of those who have no friend.
But more than that, actually, as you did say, that Dick appear in the theater. He doesn't appear, but he has a great deal to do with it backstage. You produce Plain and Fancy.
Well, he appears in the morning show with Dorothy.
With Dorothy on
In
radio.
the afternoon, sure.
Well, I did admit it, I was on radio.
Yes.
But let's go back to theater.
That's quite an admission today.
I hear rumors that you're going to produce a game.
Yes, with my partner, Jimmy Gardner, I'm doing the Ziegfeld Follies. And I think I might as well tell you it's the first time I think it's been released. Just yesterday, I signed Miss Tallulah Bankhead for the lead in the Ziegfeld Follies.
Oh, great. That's wonderful. Congratulations.
John, it's been most fun.
Wonderful.
Thank you for inviting me to be on.
Glad to have you with us, Patsy. All righty, panel, that was a little bit rough, and we particularly booby-trapped Miss Dorothy on that one. But let's see what you can do now with the second challenger. Will you come and sign in, please, sir? Now, actually, panel, once again, we have some problems here about identification, and in this instance, I'm going to ask our guest not to sign in. I will ask him where he's from. Would you tell us where you're from, sir?
Scottsdale, Arizona.
Scottsdale, Arizona. That's wonderful. I know it helps you, and will you come with me, sir? I think if you want to go meet the panel, that might help them. You go meet the panel anyway. But don't tell them who you are, please.
Oh, wonderful. I'm so glad.
Hi, Fred. I was in the alley, now this panel is
Oh, thank you. You're not Arlene's husband by any chance.
All right. Mr. X, if you come over here and sit down next to me, I would ask you if you're familiar with our scoring system.
Yes.
If you are, let's let the folks at home and our friends here know exactly what your line is. All right. Panel, once again, our guest is self-employed, and let's begin the general questioning this trip with Fred Allen.
Well, I noticed that the audience didn't laugh at your profession, sir, so I assume that it's not anything that's funny or that you laugh while you're doing it. Is that true?
That's right.
Do you deal in services?
Yes.
Do you? Do you work in Arizona?
Yes, sir.
You do. Are your services available for men and for women both?
Yes.
They are. Do these services require any training that you formally have to acquire before you're able to dispense these services? I borrowed that sentence from John. You don't mind, do you, John?
No, I was just unraveling it. I'll give you the answer in a bit. No, actually, Fred, I would say this, that our guest does require a talent and a skill which has to be self-trained or formally trained in a school of some kind. In that degree, you have a very finely trained
John,
technician.
would you answer one question for me?
Yes, I will, Fred.
Who said, "I'll be the life of the party"? Was that Adelaide Stevenson? Do you know? Well, tell me, do people come to you for to have you?
Yes.
They do come to you. Do you have an office of some sort?
No, not in that sense of the word, no.
No office as such. One down and 9 to go, and people come to our guest in a sense, too.
Mr. X, do you do your work in any place other than Arizona? Would it be possible?
No.
No,
But you're not sure.
You're the authority on this. Actually, the work is all done in Arizona. This does not preclude the possibility that it could be done elsewhere, but in this instance, it's done in Arizona. 2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Well, Mr. X, as Dorothy just labeled you, has your work got anything to do with the great outdoors?
No.
3 down and 7 to go, Miss Francis.
Well, does Bennett must have something to do with the indoors? I'm sorry to have to say that.
But he has no office.
I mean, it's got to be either outdoors or indoors,
Well, let us say
or
that
underground or above ground.
the work is done indoors. It can be done outdoors, but it has not got the context of the great outdoors as an indispensable attribute
Well,
or
then take
identifying
your hand
factor.
off that car.
Here we go.
Is your name, Mr. X, associated with a product or a thing that would be familiar to us?
In a way.
You have no self-confidence, Mr. X. Is it a product?
No.
Here, I think we might, with your permission, change the usual terms of reference. It is not a product in the terms of a packaged end instrument to a certain amount of labor. It is, however, a product in the sense that there is an end result which is available to the public, and as it's available to the public can react to it.
Is there anything entertaining in your job for other people? Do other people take any pleasure out of what you bring to them?
I honestly don't know.
I will answer that. I will answer that question, yes, ma'am.
Well, the reason I said that is if it's a thing like a Simmons mattress or a thing like Adler elevator shoes, is it a thing like that?
No, ma'am.
No.
4 $6 to go, Mr. Allen.
Is it something that you improve people in any way? Mentally or physically?
I would say no.
Do you have any testimonials from your people?
No testimonials,
No.
Fred. $5 and 5 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Would most people like to have this thing that is the end result of what you do?
I would think that we could safely say that the majority of the people that we might all know would be very happy to have this.
If you had enough of it, would you be rich?
No, I don't think that its material worth as such has a identifiable dollar and cents value to say it would make you rich. That's 6 down and 4 to go, Mr. Cerf.
That's interesting.
Well, Mr. X has this thing that you work with ever been alive, or is it alive now when you're working with it? Has it ever been alive?
Let's have one.
We'll have a small conference. One of our viewers sent me a conference panel.
I don't know why you need a conference now.
It's dead or alive.
So, what's yours next?
As our guest young daughter used to say, he works with menagerie conceptions, or imaginary conceptions. So I think we would not properly describe it as having been alive, although, as is true in all human endeavor, it's possible that some elements of the production of any end product would have life, and therefore substance.
Could I borrow that small conference fan?
A big conference.
Have a big conference. What if he did something that was intangible yet tangible, had a tangible thing like writing a book or writing articles? Those, can be bought or cartoons.
But you couldn't ever
something like
consider that they were ever alive.
He looks
Unless
much too
they have
healthy for an
people in
author. Authors don't look that healthy.
If they had people in them, wouldn't they be considered
you
to
like
be
me to
alive?
ask that?
No, I don't want you to.
If they
because
have no homes,
Have you
they'd
ever
to-
read? Have you ever?
Bennett, you'll hate me. Don't ask.
Panel.
He's gonna
Watch,
throw things
watch,
out.
panel.
Does it
Wow.
have anything to do with turkeys?
Turkeys, Fred. No.
Well,
Now, actually, this was a real tough one again. Artist George Petty, the originator of the Petty Girl, is our guest.
I would like to protest very vigorously. Those petty girls are very much alive.
Well, we said that there were elements
Bennett,
that
yeah.
could have life. Remember?
Elements.
That's when I answered your... Didn't give you a no on that, no, old boy.
And I'm glad, John, that you said that we would all, and many people would get a great deal of pleasure out of them.
That we do. And I might say, if it will not embarrass you, that I think we 5 can all take pride that a man of such fine talents is a
now,
great
John,
fan of What's My
let's
Line.
not overdo this.
But it's nice to have you with us, sir.
Well, the pleasure's mine.
And nice to have folks like you and your family in our viewing audience. This is one of our real fans. He watches the show all the time.
Where
Very proud and
where are
happy to
Mr.
be-
Petty's pictures appearing now? What magazine?
Esquire magazine.
We just finished Esquire's magazine, which is on the newsstand
Are
now.
you back in Esquire?
No, we're making their calendar.
So I think that answers all the pertinent questions. Mr. Petty, thank you very much for being with us. Nice to have you with us. In just a moment, we'll meet tonight's mystery guest. And now we come to the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery celebrity, for which my friends are once again blindfolded. Are the blindfolds all back in place, panel?
Yes, Bill. Yes.
Good. Will you come in, mystery challenger, and sign in, please? All right. Panel, as you know, in the case of our mystery celebrity, we go to a different form of questioning. You will ask one question each in turn, moving clockwise, and we'll begin it all with Arlene Francis.
Well, from the reaction of the audience, you certainly are the biggest thing since 7-Up. Would your picture appear in the radio, television, or theater section of the paper?
It's conceivable, yes.
Oh, grand!
Are you a man? Might be a bear. Anything can be a man. That's Dorothy.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I was, yes, I'm a man, yes.
Miss Kilgallen.
Are you in the movies?
No, ma'am, I have never attained that, no.
One down and 9 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Well, if you're not in the movies, that instant recognition would seem to indicate television. Is that correct?
I'm afraid that's right, yes, yes.
Are you a comedian?
What did you say, Miss Franklin?
I said, are you pretty funny? Are you a comedian?
It kind of comes and goes, off and on, yes.
Mr. Allen.
Do you have a weekly show?
Yes, sir, I do. Last I heard, yes.
Miss Kilgallen.
Is it on weekends? Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night?
No, ma'am, no. I toil during the week.
We have
during the week.
We have 2 down now and 8 to go, and we have a little more than 3 minutes to go. Mr. Cerf.
You toil during the week, and it's a weekly show. Does it bear your name, the show?
A small conference. We decided to say no to that.
3 down and 7 to go,
What
Miss
happened?
Francis.
Did you
We
decide?
decided to say no to that.
Oh, it's not called by your name.
No, not necessarily. They just decided to say it wasn't.
Well, are you on every day? Monday through Friday.
Yes, that too, yes.
Are you on this network?
I am proud to say yes, I am.
Miss Kilgallen.
Afraid to say anything else.
Miss Kilgallen.
I'd like a conference.
No conferences in this one.
Why not?
No, can't have conferences because I'm afraid it would defeat the whole design of the questioning, moving one at a time and going counterclockwise and all that sort of thing. You can pass, though.
All right.
You pass. All right, Mr.
Nice
Cerf.
to have seen you, though.
I have a leading question. Do you have a great quantity of secrets?
There was a pretty sneaky rumor once in the audience out there. Yes.
All right, we'll consider that as a question seeking information. Now you may have your real one.
Well, if I'm correct, it's Garry Moore.
It is Garry. He's got a secret anyway. I've got a secret every week he has, but it was wonderful, Bennett, because you let us down on the terms of that one show a week, not the other shows. And when you said, does it have your name on it, we could say no, which we did, being what we are.
Yes, because early in the game you said, do you have a weekly show? That's when we had the small conference, because I didn't know which show you were talking about, the daytime show or the nighttime
You're
show.
getting to
But
be
you said
just
a
as
weekly
sneaky
show.
as John, Garry, you know.
You get the two of us together and it gets positively criminal.
Well, Garry, thanks a lot for coming. It was wonderful to have you with us.
See you around-
Always. It's good
see
to
you around the corner,
Bennett.
John.
Right. Will
Good
you
to
say
see you.
good night to the family? Not only a very fine comedian and entertainer, but also a very fine gentleman, I might add. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, panel, I must admit tonight we kind of booby-trapped things for you, but I think you performed magnificently with it all. And now until next week, you pardon me, this is John Daly saying, good night, Bennett.
Hi, John. Good night. They're clamoring for you in Scranton, Arlene. Good night.
They are?
They're clamoring for you.
Well, I'll see you in Scranton. Good night.
Good night, Arlene. Good night to Dorothy.
Good
My
night,
regards
Fred.
to the petty girls, if you see them.
John, I've loved being this close to you, but I've discovered that it doesn't help a bit.
Oh, yes, it did. It was wonderful to watch your amazement when we unveiled your husband. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being with us on What's My Line?
There are 21 reasons to